Legend of Total War here with the new campaign series for Hearts of Iron 4. So today we're going to be playing as Italy, and I want to go for full map completion, which is like, it's not good if you want to make like a successful YouTube channel. It's like standalone videos or short series are definitely better than the long form ones, but what can I say, that's what I want to do. I enjoy doing it, and it's less about, money and more about enjoying what you do, I think. So we're going to be playing on the hardest difficulty, Elite, which is, before it was just like recruit regular veteran, but now they've added easier difficulty and a more difficult one. I don't feel like I'm fantastic at this game, but I feel like I'm good enough to be able to play like a relatively easy faction on the hardest difficulty without too much trouble. So with Iron Man mode and historical AI focuses. And as for custom, keeping everything there normal. So this game is after the patch of the Waking the Tiger DLC, which changed a lot of things with the game, which I'd only just started getting my head around things completely before the patch, and now I've got to relearn how to play the game. There's some new features and some changed features. There's now the inclusion of command power, but since I don't have the DLC, I haven't seen so much as to how I can spend this. I know I could use it to upgrade generals, from general to field marshal, but apart from that, I can't see anything else. I've heard that you can actually promote your generals with using skills with the command power, but again, I haven't seen it. Anyway, let's get started on this. We're at war with Ethiopia, so let's try and win this, but let's try and win it well. Okay, so I'm going to create a new army here. Let's see. You create a front line there. Just going to create one front line because I've got these guys down here as well. They're going to join the army, but not the front line. They joined the front line there. I don't want them to do that. Minus that. Oops. Minus that off. Because then they'll go and sail around up that way. I don't want them to do that. So just move them up to there. Get them into position. I'll also bring... I don't need these guys here. Bring them back here. Bring some more troops down just to make this war with Ethiopia. Just make it go down a lot faster. Alright. Additional 6 units might help. Don't want to send too many troops because maybe we'll have supply issues. There we go, 24, that's perfect. Have them attach to this. Great. Alright, let's build some stuff. We want to get some civilian factories down right away. Probably want to get quite a few civilian factories down, because I'll be conquering a lot of military factories, and I'm going to need civilian factories for importing goods. So that's going to keep going for quite a while. But then when that's done, I'll want it to focus heavily on military factories. Got to get our economy under control. It's very important. National focuses. Definitely want to do the Triumph in Africa chain. But we'll start off doing the things that are... Since I can't do that until we finish Ethiopia. Start with Ethiopian War Logistics. Now over here, just have these things finish all these off. And then once they're finished, make them do convoys. Because we've only got 180. So we're at need of oil. But that's okay. These are not priority. I just get them done. Because they're already partially done. Doesn't matter if it's not doing anything on it right now. Okay, select research. Now because we're playing on elite difficulty, we do take research penalties, so I want to try and negate them as soon as possible, and also get my industry under control as soon as possible. I can worry about military style stuff when we get closer to World War II. But we're going to be needing our factories at full capacity throughout the entirety of the campaign. Alright, so we've got one more tech that I can do. Let's see. It might be a good idea to actually get started on Mass Assault Doctrine. It takes a long time to do each one of these. I know we start off with Grand Battle Plan Doctrine, but I like Mass Assault Doctrine the most, largely because of Human Wave Offensive. There's also a lot of things in here that are useful for the way that I play. So that's why I'm going to switch it over to this. But that extra 5% recruitable population, I'm desperately going to need that because I'm going to join the Axis forces, but only until World War II is over, and then I'm going to leave them. So I'm going to, when I go to war with Axis, assuming that we win the war, I'm going to need a lot of manpower to defeat them. Okay, Air Force, start bringing them together. I don't think I really need them in Ethiopia, but it probably wouldn't hurt. But let me just get things organized first. Okay, now over here. What do we need? Probably just focus on support equipment for the time being, because that stuff never goes out of date. Like, the infantry equipment one, that's going to be out of date eventually, and it's just all going to need to be replaced. Still should try and keep it so that all of our troops have some, but we're going to need loads and loads of support equipment. And if I've managed to stockpile, say, 100,000 or 1,000,000, then I won't need to make any more for a long time. So just get that going for the time being. All these other things over here, maybe I don't need the close air support. So we've got very low efficiency because of elite difficulty. I'm not going to focus too much on my Air Force right now, so this will free up. I think I'll leave it. Alright, we'll let that be. Alright, we're good to go. Let's go. Let's try and win this war relatively quickly. Okay, we got some guys from Libya. Let's bring all of our remaining soldiers together, because I want to get them reorganized. Because of the changes in, because of this latest patch, I'm going to try and keep my forces very well organized by type. I think that's quite important. Also, we need to create army group so that we can get bonuses for him. Yep, he's our best admiral. Field marshal. Get him in there. I'm going to get all the mountaineers and put them in a separate army. Just any old general will do. Just put them on the front line for the time being. Got other plans I want to do with them, but just not right now. So yeah, I think we just need to take this region and Addis Ababa, and that should finish them off. We don't quite have enough strength to push into this. I mean, we could, but it's just, this territory is not important, so why bother? Some planes over here. Just bring them back for the time being, so I can organize them, and then I'll bring them back down here to help out. Yeah, I doubt the Ethiopians have an air force. So what are these? These ones here, tactical bombers. Alright, we'll send the tactical bombers. And what are these? Fighters. Send these two back down here. And they'll provide support. Probably need to worry about port strike, but whatever. Okay, keep pushing down in here. Try and pocket them off. We're in no rush to get this war done. It's more important for me that we win this war with few casualties. Okay, also, the cavalry, they'll form their own army. They don't need a general, though, because they're not there to fight. It's just a way for me to keep them organized, because I've only got limited generals, and hiring more generals costs political power. Alright, slow down for a moment. Okay, I want half of them coming over this way. I don't usually like telling them to enact the order, because they make suicidal attacks. Oh, we're getting pocketed, are we? No, we'll be fine. So we opened it up back up. Just keep my fleets organized for the time being like this. So yeah, also just a reminder to people, I'm very much aware that I'm not the best at this game. I'm not terrible, but I'm not the best. But I don't like advice throughout the game, so you guys are more than welcome to comment, however you feel like it. But if you are commenting to try and help me, just understand that it's just going to fall on deaf ears, because the way I operate my channels is that I always pre-record the entire campaign before it will even release episode 1. That's because that helps me to enjoy the game a lot more, because I have a habit of getting negged out by comments, and I've just found that I've been able to enjoy what I do a lot more when I do things that way. So just be mindful that if you're posting a comment that's like, Legend, you should do this, you should do that, you are completely wasting your time, because I promise you by the time you're watching this episode here, the entire series will be done. And that being said, I don't even really read the comments anymore. I read some of them every now and again, but as soon as I start to see like, you should do this, I'm just like, next comment, you know, that kind of stuff. Life's too short to worry about what other people have to say. Okay, well, they're pocketed now, so let's get rid of them. So it's just 4 units. Sorry, 3 units. But that's 3 fewer units that we don't have to worry about anymore. How about some guys over... Shit. Right. Press the attack it out of Sababa. Seems like more or less we've got this. Ah, that was the victory point. One thing I really love about this game is that it actually shows population of regions. So it's a small thing, but I do love it when a game actually, a strategy game actually shows population. Because it wasn't in there for Hearts of Iron 3. Not in that form, at least. How are we going? We've only lost 500 men. They've lost 35,000, so we're doing well. If we capture this, it should give us victory over them. The air support's helping. Good stuff. Kind of surprised we're not taking any casualties. Then again, these guys don't have their equipment in order, so they're probably resisting us by throwing sticks and stones at us. It's not going to get any of our guys killed. Are we done? Good. I'll be annexing this, thank you very much. Next stop, back to Italy. You guys have done your job. Same with you, back to Italy with you. Some of our planes got shot down, but that's okay. They probably helped speed up the process. So our next target is going to be Yugoslavia and Albania. We've got a small amount of army experience. I want to make some adjustments to this. To get it to combat width 20. Okay, off home you go. I'm not making any more of these right now, so just... At least I don't think I am, so just drop it off. That's fine, don't need to worry about that. It's kind of a new feature there that I think is cool, but don't need it right now. Helps if I would have more political power. Minus 30%, that's a lot. Okay, now we got to reorganize this. So in this army here, there's some units that I don't want in this group. You go join that. Okay, the tanks, they'll have their own army group. Hang on, slow down. Well, not army group, they'll have their own army. Probably level 1 general will do. He's a general, right? Not a field marshal. Yeah, okay, good. And these units here, there should be 5 of them somewhere. They need to be disbanded because they're not going to fit my format. They're just like... I just like to keep things standardized. Okay. Anyway, it's not like it's going to, you know, kill those troops. It's just that the manpower and the equipment goes back into the pool, which we could use to start recruiting this template now if we wanted to. I need to be making artillery. We don't have that in here, do we? How do I move its priority up? You used to be able to do it. Now it doesn't seem like you can. So at the moment, none of that's being made. Do we have the resources for it though? We don't have much steel. We've got a little bit of tungsten, so if we just have one, then maybe just free up. Let's see here. Okay. So we're starting to make some at least. Because I will need a lot. Need some oil, but there's some... what's good? There's some national focuses that'll get me the oil that I need. So we'll get there eventually. Like I said, when it comes to those ships, I'm not in desperate need of them, so if they're not producing quickly, that's fine. When it comes to ships, there's no ship that I could make that doesn't use oil. Okay, so next things, claims on Yugoslavia. Just thinking about this line down here, because we have limited amounts of growth of political power. It's sometimes good to just not even use the focus tree because there's other things to do with political power, like, you know, build up on the government. But right now we're making our way down to Albanian occupation, which we need to do, like right now. And then there's more things down here that will help us construct more things. So a lot of things here that we need to do. But when it comes to support nationalist Spain, this doesn't even do anything. This focus currently has no effect. Changes in the world situation may affect this, but then we could demand the Balearic Islands. But the Balearic Islands aren't particularly valuable. There's some people there, but there's no resources. So it's not really worth the political power when there's other things that I can do. It's not going to provide us with a strategic advantage over our enemies. There's going to be non-core population as well, which means they won't be able to provide us with many soldiers. Change your color to red because I like red. And this is main army 1, so you'll go to red. I'm going to change them to legions. Legio first. We will need to recruit new units, that's for sure. Especially if we're going to war with Yugoslavia. If we just wait for this to be finished, it'll be done cheaper. And we need to do this one to get to Albanian occupation. Alright, I'm going to start mustering another army. Whoops. I can only do 23 at the moment. Fine. So yeah, we're lacking the equipment needed. Need to make some adjustments with equipment. Let's see here. Well, we still need to support equipment, so none of that's going to waste. So we just need to be patient then, I suppose. Maybe actually just cancel this because our. Let's slow down. We'll be ready in 120 days. Albanian occupation. I think the first thing I should do is switch to war economy when I've got access to the political power. Okay, I'm going to get. Let's see here. Put you there, right here. Their job's going to be to punch through. And your job, how many of them will I put here? 12, and then 12 here. Mountains. Okay. Bring these guys into here. I'm not going to go to war with France, so there's no concern. Once we get Albania, we'll bring them into here because these here, some of these are mountain areas, and they'll look after that. But just need to have a look at the template really quickly. So they've got 6,000. That's not too bad. They'll maintain. We'll bring them back over here later. Give them some chance to get some experience as well. Alright. Let's see here. I think I'll leave 6 behind. And put the rest within order. And these 6 will go down with the mountaineers. Okay, we've got the Spanish Civil War going on now. I wonder if I should send some expeditionary forces. Or some volunteers, maybe. You know what? I might just do that. I don't need this many troops to deal with them. I feel like I could help them out. Alright, I'll create. I'm going to send 7. You army, under your command. Okay, I want to send some volunteers. Oh, I can only send 2. Right. I'm not used to actually sending volunteers. Bring them back in here. Because it's crucial for us that Republican Spain does not win. It'll also give us the option to get that other... Where is it? Other thing here, if I want to. But I can only do that while they're in a civil war. So the main purpose that I'm going to put them in there for is not to attack, but to defend. Just to help Spain, or national Spain, hold the line. It's not guaranteed that national Spain's going to win. Look at that, they're getting pocketed over here. God damn it, where's my troops? I wouldn't send them as expeditionary forces. No, send them as volunteers so that I can still control them. Alright. Also, this will help me gain some more army experience. So, where am I most needed? Come over here, and we'll use it to try and grab this port. Like I said, I don't want to sacrifice my lives, but you don't need to kill your enemy to defeat them. Be right. Help them take this section out here first, and then we can redistribute our troops down south. How long is it going to take them? 2 days. See, look, he's moving over here. Go take the port. We can't do much to help, but if we take this, it will help them out. I'll set up over here. Make sure these two here are trapped. I'd like it if these guys are back before the war starts, but it's not crucial. Also, you're going to be needed to blockade their ports and destroy their shit. Alright, we'll help you. Take out those goddamn communists. So far things are looking good. Republican Spain's getting quite a few units pocketed. Still just trying to decide whether or not I want to go down this line here. Sure. Good. So that gave us reinforced rate, minimum training level minus 10%. Okay, cool. Alright, so hopefully Albania accepts that. They probably will. Then we need to focus on our industry. Good. Albania yields excellent. Giving us some more factories. I think what we really need is more infantry equipment. We're running a little bit low on that. Because I want to raise another army, but I need the equipment to do that. I don't want to equip them with sticks and stones. Where do I need you? Come over here. Actually, no. Come over here. Oh, they're under attack. Looks like the Nationalists are doing pretty well. Oh fuck, no, don't surrender. I want to get to here to make sure that these guys don't magically get over this way. Keep them blocked off. Because that's 6 units there that are about to get wiped out. Looks like they didn't need my help, but I'll come in and help anyway. You can see these guys are making a big push. Alright, so over here, we want to change this to war economy. That's going to give us a greater access to our civilian factories, and will make it faster for us to produce military factories, which is really going to come in handy later down the track when we're, you know, creating loads of them. But we need to get resources, and some of those resources will be here. There's a little bit of steel, nothing major. Probably have to import a lot from Germany, which is why we need to get the civilian factories. Speed this up. Shouldn't be much longer until this war starts. Now, I don't think that my guys here are winning the war for Spain, but hopefully it helps them a little bit. Let's see, where could we go? So what I want to do is just, oh look, Germany's here as well. Just put them in places where we can hunker down and wait for the Republicans to attack us, because that's the best way to wear them out. Okay. I don't want to throw away my troops. I just want to protect. Stop them from overrunning the other guys. Because if we can get nationalist Spain on our side during World War II, which is something that did not happen historically, but if it could happen, it'll make things easier. And if Republican Spain shows up, well, that'll make things a lot more difficult. Our guys should be reasonably well fortified, and the Republicans are just throwing themselves at them. That's what we want to see. So they're not making it back in time for this, but it shouldn't be a problem. Oh shit, I didn't get this sorted. Suppose just for the time being, you should join this army here. Let them get into position, and then we go. Okay, we're in 1937 now, so we need to improve our construction and increase our factory output further. It's good. It seems like the Nationalists are winning. Position. even close. Let's do this. That's not important right there. So they want to send some volunteers? Sure, I can use some help. Just wait for a weakness to open up somewhere. How's that? Okay, yep. Right, I reckon right here. And then if we can break through with the tanks, because they're going to be much faster than their infantry, and just get behind their lines, that's the ideal situation. Just keep these guys locked down here in the meantime. Why did I do that? Oh, what the? No, no, what the? What did I just do there? Fuck me. What's this? Alright, hang on. I can quickly fix this. I just wanted to go see what the Spanish were up to. Get rid as well. I have to rename this. That's it where it was. And these guys here. Just left one general will do. Attach it to here, and they were. Wait, what happened there? They were orange before. Okay, that's more or less how things were. Wait. This should also be part of it. Problem is, it's called Army Group 3. Oh, no, 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 I see. It's got 3 in them. Okay, never mind. It's Army Group 1 still. Never mind. Still getting used to all this stuff. So, now we need the extra research slot. See, what happened to my troops over here? Where'd they go? I guess they're on their way home now. Well, we got into a bit of a fight. It looks like the Republicans actually pushed up through here a bit. Yeah, volunteer forces in trans. Yeah, they're on. They're coming back. I'm not used to sending volunteers. I just hope they win. I hope my small contribution meant something. Okay, so they're back here. Oh, yeah. Get rid of him. Okay. Oh, the front line here got... Jeez. You know what? I don't even think we... Yeah, we should set it up. Slow down. Okay. We can move down the coast here. Trying to keep an eye on both wars simultaneously. Okay, good, that worked. Just keep let's go in this direction, actually. So send... Oh, for fuck's sake, I selected one. I want them to come over here. Because I figured that they'd pin him down, so this one he'll go around them. And he's getting pinned down. We'll have a lot more soldiers than them, so we can afford to spread them thin. Make this line as thick as possible. This also... Well, I'm not even using them, so they just stay put. Not attacking into the mountains here. They're just there to make sure that they don't attack it. And to, you know, tie down their forces here. Okay, now if we can get these guys across the river here, all of these guys are pocketed. They pinned us down long enough to get these guys over here. But they're still stretched pretty thin. These guys off. Good, 3 units pocketed. It's nothing major, but it's a start. Yeah, you guys come this way. I just wanted him to help win with that. Still hard to say who's winning there. If this war here should be over before the Civil War, and if they're still going, then I might send some more volunteers over. Crossing the river would take longer. Best go through the river. And maybe cross over at this point here where it should be safe. We're getting fairly close to Belgrade now. Good. So they're cut off. So they should be starting to take some supply issues soon. Maybe I need to take Zagreb first. You should probably stop him. Almost to Belgrade. Good, they're taking supply issues. If we take out Zagreb, they'll get no supplies. Because they're able to get supplies from victory points, usually. And Belgrade's undefended. Good, if we can get there quickly, this war will be over. Not quite. I guess we need to take Zagreb as well. We just did. It's not quite over though. So that's worth 5 victory points. Try and make our way over there. Wasted production going on over here. We're lacking steel. What do we have though? We've got plenty of aluminium and some tungsten, so at least I'll be able to use the tungsten here. Yeah, since we're definitely going to need steel, I'll make a trade deal with Germany. 2 should be enough. Oh, apparently we need more. Right, it didn't properly update. Okay, good. At least we're in surplus now. Okay, good. Is this over? I didn't see any casualties we took, but I'm pretty sure we did that well. Okay, good. Now, let's have a look. Yeah, we need our production efficiency. We'll make stuff at a reasonable rate. So it looks like they're still doing pretty well. Okay, so the infantry from here. They're to rejoin this. And you turn over here. Well, that's that for the time being. Next thing is we get ready for World War II. How do we get them to stand down? I suppose it doesn't matter. Now, to get ready for World War II, what we need, I think I want 2 more of these divisions. Oops. So we'll have 5 tanks, 5 light tanks. And I want another full army of infantry. So that's 24 units. Okay, so just produce 12 at a time, 2 groups of 12. Now we need to adjust this a little bit. Let's see. We need support artillery and okay, they need to get like logistics and field hospitals. I'll work on getting that soon. Then over here, let's have a look. Take the cavalry out because they're not good fighters. That doesn't leave us with much. Okay, got extra research slots. I don't need the fortification effort there. You'll see why eventually. Yeah, we want to get that oil. And extra tech. Got all of this being done. Synthetic oil is going to be important. So yeah, get that going. Research the field hospital and logistics stuff soon. Okay. Yeah, you come over here. Come over here. I think National Spain is winning. I mean, they're pushing in through here. They lost a bit of territory there. They've taken all of that. Those units that were there, I think they're getting pocketed. Coming through here. I think they're winning. And I don't care if they win by a small margin, as long as they win. Okay, we've got about 2 years until World War II begins. We're also going to need a separate group of 5 men to occupy Corsica and Sardinia. Now it's just a matter of trying to get the resources for that. I could get some more army experience by drilling these guys. Suppose they're fine for the time being. I'll change their template. Another opportunity. I want to bring this up here. I can't. Not without cancelling these. Oh, god damn it. Fucking hell. Chinese United Front. Alright, that's good, that's done. So yeah, why can't we do this? Oh, because my guys aren't there anymore. That's fine, I don't need the Balearic Islands. I'll take it when I kill Spain, eventually. Prospect for oil. That'll help speed up those ships' production, because they're consuming steel that I need for something else. Yeah, Nationalist Spain's winning. By a clear margin now. Okay, good. Okay, now, in preparation for the war against France, I've got a little bit of a plan here. Now, we don't need to do anything against France, really. But, if we manage to capture this province here, well, actually there's 3 provinces. If we manage to capture them, Vichy doesn't get a hold of them. If we don't capture them, Vichy gets them. And I'd like to deprive Vichy of as much territory as possible. Same thing with like Corsica and others. Oh yeah, we're gonna need troops down there as well. The new legion that's being trained will go down that way. I hope they're gonna be ready in time. Should be. I mean, we've still got 2 years. So we need to make preparations for taking France out of the war straight away, but also so that we capitalize on it as well. It's like Tunisia, maybe try and take Syria, although you really need to move fast to get to Syria. But I'll try and do that. And Corsica. But I've tried to like take this in the past, and it would still just hand it over to Vichy. And the funny thing is, though, the more that we can claim in this coming war, I mean, more that we can get with France, it doesn't get occupied by us, it gets annexed by us straight away, even though the war's not over. Which means you don't need to leave behind, you know, people to maintain public order, and you get full use of the resources. So we want to try and get as much of that as possible. It's going to help us in the long run. Because it's, let's face it, it's going to be a long war. It's not going to end in 1945. 1945 is because that was the end of the Axis forces. They just wore themselves out. Allies, if Hitler had not invaded the Soviet Union, it still would have taken him a lot longer than 1945 to take out Great Britain and America. Okay, then I need Libyan refineries. So, a new army here. This will be known as Legio 2. Okay, now we can go for... So we'll go for field hospital first. Logistics shouldn't be that big of an issue to begin with. But yeah, whatever, just get to both. Okay, we've got the war economy. I'm not really a big fan of total mobilization because it reduces recruitable population. We could increase our conscription. Or, let's have a look here. There's someone in here that gives us... Yeah, slow down. Gives us extra political power. It's only by 5%, but that's better than nothing. Where is he? Yeah, this one here. Backroom Backstabber. That'll culminate in a lot of extra political points over the course of the campaign, helping to negate the elite difficulty penalty. Alright, so when it comes to this here, what we actually want to do is not stand on the frontier. Go stand over here. Make it seem like to France that we are not going to join in with Germany. Because I'm not sure. I know in Total War that the AI don't experience fog of war, but I think they do in this. It'd be too unfair if they could see everything. So, if they can't see us have any troops here, they'll put all of their troops up north. And then what we do is we use all of our fast troops to just basically roll over this immediately, grab this entire province here, and then just hunker down, and then let Germany deal with the rest. That's all we have to do. Just capture this very quickly. But every single one of these regions have to be captured. Okay, I want to change this color to a darker red. Shift him over this way, but it doesn't matter, I'm just being anal. If we try to justify another war with someone else, Britain will, and France will guarantee them. Cock blockers. So yeah, when it comes to this unit here, I don't necessarily need them to fight. We've got other units for suppression here. It's just get rid of these. And can we... Okay, good. Didn't cost anything to add anything there. Good. It's not costing any extra. Ah, fuck. So motorized infantry and cavalry and some tanks. We'll save that template. But now logistically they'll probably require more tanks. So we'll have to increase our production of them. Oh, we've got 2 years to make 500 tanks. That gives them... If they can make 1 tank a day, it'll get done. What are they currently working on at the moment? They're making 2 a week. So... Once we get that extra factories in there, that'll pick up the slack. Okay, we got way too much steel now. So just adjust our trade agreement with Germany. Because otherwise we're just wasting a construction slot. Okay, you guys don't need to be out here in the water anymore. You can come back here. Slow down. Now, do we need anything else right now? See, if I research this, it'll reduce the time required to research land doctrines. But, you know, that will consume 70 political power. It's not crucial. But the plus, well, that's just that one. Thing is, political power is probably a little bit tighter of a resource than our construction power and our research power. Because there's many other things that I need to do with my political power. Army primacy, that's going to give us 2 extra military factories. We'll grab that. That's needed. Because we do need to do massive amounts of construction right away. Maybe that actually color is... It's too close to the other one. Let me just adjust it. Change it to... Change it to purple. That's not the Roman color. But this one here is purple. Well, why don't we change them to something? Change them to... green. I don't know. So what are we not producing? Tactical bomber. Can make that go away. So promises of peace will increase stability, reduce war support. Oh, that's a big issue. But cost political power. Nah. Improved worker conditions. That's actually not bad. That'll get us close to 100% stability. But there's other things in here that we do need. We will need to increase our conscription laws at some point. We just don't have enough men there at the moment. Alright, let's keep moving. It's only a matter of time now before Republican Spain goes away. Okay, we got about a year and a half to get all this stuff done now. Resources of Austria. Okay, how we go for resources? Okay, now we need more steel from Germany because more factories. Now, do I need anything else? I don't need any more naval dry docks. I don't have the resources to build this stuff. After we've defeated France, the first people we're going to go after is actually Bulgaria. But if we want to get this stuff down here, we need to do that first. But for the time being, I think we'll just stop with the national focuses. There's nothing in there that's going to provide us with a big bonus. But improving the government is a must. We're only short 500 tanks now, but they're still behind schedule. But things will pick up, like I said, when as more. Oh, there we go, more factories. They're making 4 a week now. That's still not enough. And as I said, we need to adjust this because I need more steel. We've got enough motorized. Why don't we close that off? Speed up tanks. Well, so they're not working at full efficiency, so that'll pick up over time. We seem to have enough artillery. That's good. Definitely need more infantry equipment. Okay, what do we need here? Probably industrial concerns are going to be very useful for us right now, because since we're researching so much industry stuff, if we can speed that up by 10%, that'll help. Just get that stuff done so that we can get to the other stuff. So yeah. No more wars until World War II begins. Okay, that's done. That's good. We are a little bit short in oil, aren't we? Let me just have a look. Because we've got 2 refineries now. But we'll certainly build more as the campaign progresses. But do we need it right now, though? Maybe instead working on some infantry equipment might come in handy, because we can start researching that soon. We're definitely going to need it. It's not going to be like my Japan campaign where I'm going to be using tier 1 equipment until 1950. No, we'll get tier 3 equipment as soon as possible. Okay, that is the end of Republican Spain. Good. So all those are done for the time being. How are we going over here? We're in 1938, so that sounds good. these tanks done. Anyway, as we put into resources here, it's just going to slow down the resources, well, slow down the construction of these battleships, which is still going to take a long time. Okay, good. And what do we need next? Maybe improving artillery would be a good idea. Reinforce rate, that's also important. So yeah, World War II, when Germany invades Poland, it should be around August 1939. But we don't join then. We join once they've defeated Poland and have declared war on both Luxembourg, Belgium, and Netherlands. Only then do we join. Ah, good, these guys here, they're getting done. Now, what's next? Material designer, infantry equipment, motorized artillery, what else? We're not really focusing on tanks to begin with. Don't really need any of those. I'd say go with weapons and equipment research time, because I'll be researching a lot of that. Okay, now over here. If they're making one a day, they should fill the quota by the time World War II begins. That's all I need them to do, and then have a few left over. So instead, let's increase our production now. I'm glad that they've done this rather than have to constantly make like rows and rows and rows of infantry equipment. You can now just up the scale from here. You're going to need a lot of these, and maybe a few of these after they're done. Because I do intend to make a strong air force and a strong navy, but the army has to come first. If you've got a strong air force and a strong navy, it doesn't mean shit if you've got a weak army. Of course, the extra support does help to support the army. And you can't have everything you need to make do. So you're going to come over here, give you, you're going to go in this guy's army. Alright. You'll stand over here. Your job will be to take Corsica. And they'll have to stay there for the duration of the war. Now, you come down here. I'll change where you're being recruited from. They're going to Libya. So World War II begins in about a year from now. Need to make sure we've got sufficient equipment. Even if it is just infantry equipment 1, just get it ready. The troops will just use infantry equipment 1 until we got sufficient equipment 2. Which should be ready by, okay, it should be ready by the time World War II begins. This is going to take, yeah, it'll be ready. That technology. Okay, what else do we need? Yeah, extensive conscription. Even if it's increased training time by 10%, that really doesn't mean much. That should give us about an extra 1 million men. You know, eventually, they still need to muster them. Okay, this army's almost ready. I'm really hoping it's going to be ready before the war starts. It should be. Still got more than 6 months. Even though it's ahead of schedule, I really do need these things to get done. So get started. Where did I get so much more steel from? Oh, I see. As the ships finished, the steel got redistributed. Good. We don't have them patrol at the beginning of the war because they're just going to get destroyed by the British Navy pointlessly. Save them for other important missions. They'll be relatively safe in the port. Oops. Okay, 2 more, and then we send them down to Libya. I reckon 8, 8, 8. These guys here make a rush for Syria. These guys here rush up, or just say down the Nile, and these guys rush for Tunisia and the rest of it. So we're going to need the best army we can get. Infantry division, attack and defense. That is certainly going to come in handy. Okay, they're ready. We have no more units in basic training. I want 8 of them to sail to Ethiopia. Now, I don't really care too much about this territory. I'm not going to build it up right now because it could get taken from me. If you can't defend everything, defend what's important. Anyway, once we take all this here, that's that frontier closed off. And, like I said, I really want to take this away from Vichy France. I've never done that before, never gotten there in time. So it'd be very important, I think, to take it away from them. Because that'll give me a good base for operations against Turkey, who we'll also go to war with at some point. I've got a general idea of what we want to do, especially at the beginning. We need to have a strong start if you want to have a good finish. If you fuck around at the beginning, you're going to be forever, you know, trying to fix up your mistakes. It requires decisive, careful planning. And it's not... I've always thought that the best plans are ones that get the fewest people killed. Don't get me wrong, I'll kill them if I have to. But I would prefer not to. Okay, maybe throw some more into tanks. Because I'll probably recruit some more tanks as we continue throughout the campaign. Because we've got a big stockpile here now, which seems pointless because it's going to be switched soon. What else could I produce? I could produce more support equipment. That's never going to become outdated, unlike infantry equipment 1. Alright, so 8 of them there. 8 of them here. These are also useful. And yeah, around there. I'm not too concerned about hitting them. Like I said, it's more a case of catching anyone up through the Nile so that these guys here aren't disturbed. Also, these two here, I'll bring them down here because we're going to need someone to maintain order. That's what we should recruit more of now. More of these. I think I'll get 20 of them. Because they're good for me. Actually, go 25. Hang on. We've got 2. Bring that to 24. We need 22. There you go. But not just that. Adjust it so we could put more in here. Oh, I don't have much. Okay, never mind. Oh, just one more won't hurt. Basically, I want to get them so that just one of them will be enough to provide suppression for almost any region. Obviously, regions like London and Berlin will require a lot of suppression, but most other regions won't. Yeah, I don't actually want to use a front line here. I just wanted them to get into position because I'm going to be moving them myself manually because it's much faster. What I found is if you set up a there's not going to be any resistance here. If you set up an offensive line, they take a region, make sure it's secure, and then they go for the next region, make sure it's secure. Whereas we're just going to go balls to the wall, fucking vroom right through this to capture this as quickly as possible. Same with this, same with this. We're not going to encounter much resistance. Same with this, is why we don't need a front line. We'll use front lines from time to time, like we did against Yugoslavia, and we'll need one against Bulgaria and Greece and Turkey, because those are going to be more a case of we're going to go up against a line of infantry or troops that we need to punch through, but not right now. Okay, we're going to be relying very heavily on our army, so getting extra division speed is probably going to be very useful. Yes, yeah, it increased his speed by 5%, affects all units. So infrastructure right here is actually reducing its speed. Interesting. Because it's going to need speed when the time comes. And looking at these guys, their max speed is 4. Okay. You know, that extra 5% speed could be the difference between life and death, strategically, sometimes. Okay, we're at an hour and a half. Let's just get closer to World War II, so that at the beginning of next episode, we got it started right away. Everything else is in position now. I suppose I could even recruit another army. Why not? Oh, oops. Probably not going to need them for this, but just bring them in here anyway. How are we going for equipment? So they'll be ready. They'll be ready by the time World War II starts. And their equipment here. Oh, that also reminds me. I don't have enough army experience. Okay, we're in 1939 now, so yeah, we need more oil. I mean, I could probably set these guys here to drill for just... not those ones. These ones here to drill for a bit, give them a bit more experience. Where's that drill command? Oh, there it is. Okay, it'll use up equipment. Let me see, what was the thing? Yeah, so I just need 5. Okay, I think we're fine for steel for the time being. I think it's just the convoys that are a bit lacking. Actually, now that I think about it, if that's the case, why don't we cancel the convoy here? That way the priority for this goes back up, and then re-establish it there. That way it's the convoys that are lacking, because I don't need them, and the artillery are not. Okay, so we'll have access to tier 2 equipment now. Let's do that, that'll help our stuff as well. So yeah, we need a lot more steel. Alright, I'll just import it. Good, only the convoys are lacking. We're almost at 5. Gotta make that adjustment. Could get them to drill as well, but these guys here are fresh recruits, so might as well do it for them. Okay, we're at 5. Let me just make sure that this is going to work. Oh yeah, get rid of this. Oh, we need 10? Alright, I guess they'll have to keep drilling. Well, if that's the case and we need that much, you guys will need to perform an exercise as well. We're going good for oil, right? Yeah. So yeah, combination of oil and military factory is what we need. Worry about infrastructure later. It's fine. Okay, so they all just moved away now. World War II is about to begin. We gotta stop these drills. We're only in June. We're gonna wait till... I'll probably stop them midway through July. And then we'll end the episode there. Okay, what's next? So... that'll be good later down the track. Not really going to be using navies or air force too much at the beginning here. Non-core population manpower. Alright, that'll give us a handful of extra troops, nothing major. But it all adds up. I was hoping we'd get this in. I would have needed to do the drills for longer. Okay, we're halfway through July, so stop your drills because I need your organizations ready. Hopefully you guys have been... They've been made veterans now. Or regulars. So they're in pretty good shape. These guys weren't trained in front long enough. But that's okay. With an extra 25% skill in combat, that should make them significantly better when they get into a fight. Alright, so we'll end the episode here. Oh, what's this? Oh, don't worry about that. We'll deal with it next time. That's the end of this episode, so like and subscribe. Part 2 is next, and don't forget to visit me on Facebook. See you next time, fuckers.